Well, hello my colonial friends, and welcome back to another Let's Play here in Pride of Nations. Guys, we're going to go ahead and show the military control panel. That seems to be the most useful one for us right now, and we're going to try to fix what seems to be a very serious issue, and that is the total conquest right now of the Mughals in these areas. So I'm actually going to be attacking this army right here. I want to grab this guy too. So I might see if I can go here first and then go over here. 22 days is going to take us to get there. We can't go on an offensive posture, but we're going to hope that the enemy will go ahead and engage us. And we've also got some new colonels here, new commanders, which probably are going to be pretty helpful. Over here we've got an army. I want to make sure that we have a supply depot. I believe we do. Yeah, we do. I don't want to destroy the depot, so no, don't do that. But we can probably take these guys and send them to Dhaka, and also over here to Rajput, and hopefully get some kills. In fact, with these guys we can attack. I'm going to do an all-out assault with no chance for retreat for our men, because I want to make sure that they understand the gravity of the situation. Of course, if we look over here, we've got this army, pretty decent one, led by Rose, Sir Rose, I believe, and we're going to be probably moving him over into this area, but we got to be careful. There's a lot of very strong Mughal units here, like this guy up here. We can't actually see his strength, but I can tell you right now it's incredible. And this guy has 1,254 men. I mean, that is frightening. We already have a 35% penalty with this army, so I'm going to have to go ahead and move some guys out, maybe put them in this stack or just a separate stack. If we can use that stack, well, there we go. I'll put them there. 25% or 35% penalty. I'm going to have to take one of the leaders of the East India Company to create that new army. Now it's a 15% penalty, but these guys still have way too many men. 25% penalty. Maybe we'll give them another colonel. 10%, 35%. Jeez, that's not going to work out. So we're definitely going to have to send a bunch of guys over, a bunch of artillery, etc., to even things out. Still at 35% penalty. And these guys are now at 35%. So we might have to make many different armies. Let's go ahead and start doing that. And hopefully we can put one of these guys in control. Take this guy out. Well, it's still, is it still at 35%? Yeah, it sure is. Take that guy out. Take this feller out. Still at 35% penalty. Holy crap, what else can we do? I mean, I guess we can send another stack over here. Now we're at 30%, getting a little better. That guy's got a 35%, 20% penalty, 20% penalty. I'm going to accept the 20% penalty. I know it's not the best thing in the world, but we don't really have much of an option, to put it succinctly. And I'm going to take this colonel of the East India Company, put him in charge of this guy. 30% penalty, 35%. No, we can't do that. We'll have to worry about that stack later. Hopefully get some new commanders pretty soon. 20% and 20% is something I can work with. So I'm actually going to keep these guys here for now, I think. I might send this guy over here to try and take this city. But I'm going to keep a unit here in Lahore to basically defend it from any incoming attacks. And also I want to see, these guys unfortunately are locked. There's really not much we can do with them. But we've got to look around and make sure we've got a few unlocked units to send them into combat. So here we go. What about these guys? Yeah, these guys could definitely get into a fight. These guys are locked as well. And I don't really think they're in a position to beat the Mouton Brigade. Then again, these are cavalry units. Maybe the cavalry can go ahead and do a good job. But we're going to have to test it out. We can't just sit around doing nothing. We've also got this massive army over here. However, once again, the commander, Sir Henry Somerset, is not unlocked yet. So we're going to have to wait a little bit. Goa, of course, is a Portuguese territory. I'm not going to worry about it. But I definitely want to see if we can find some new commanders and hopefully put them in here in this area. Let's take a look here. Just taking a look at our different reinforcements, replacements, etc. But right now, yeah, there's really not much we can do. But it's not looking like we really need them. Yeah, I don't think we can really worry about the reinforcements right now. Great Britain. Come on, lads. No, we don't have any money. Oh, well, we're going to have to wait until Queen Victoria decides to do something for us. So fair enough. I'm gonna go ahead and basically just, and I hope you guys haven't seen that Skype thing down there. It's so annoying. I'm using a weird internet connection, and quite frankly, it's a pain in the ass. So we do have this guy, and I'm thinking he could probably really help us in terms of getting some better command in this area, in this region, I guess you could say. But we're not going to worry about him now. You know, we do have this group of cannons. I'm of course going to send them here. I think this is going to be a lot of fighting this turn. But I'm not sure if artillery alone can handle this. So I do hope I'm making the right decision here. And I'm definitely leaving this brigade in Gaja. Is it Gaja? Yes, I believe it is. Let's end the turn. That was a lot of planning there, so I hope it pays off. One more thing, we've got this guy here, who's only got a 10% penalty. We're going to send him to Rava. Actually, he could build a depot here, and I think that's probably not a bad idea. So we're going to have him build a depot. This guy right here, he could certainly use some troops, but no unlocked brigades. We might be able to give him a few troops from this army, increase his stack. But for now, we're going to play it safe and end the turn. And in fact, I want to see if we can build... No, we can't build a depot here because they probably already have one. Let's end the turn and hope for the best, lads. Okay, there we go. First Battle of Sukkur is a British defeat. We lost fewer men than the Mughals did, but still not a great situation. And that massive army attacked us, and it was a British defeat. There was nothing we could do. We didn't attack. We knew they were going to attack us. Now, the good news is they lost 17,732 men. We only lost 539 men, but we lost 11,000 cavalry, which is pretty bad. They also took a bunch of men prisoner. But I think, you know, that's what we need to keep doing. We need to keep working the army of Bakit Khan down until he's got nothing left. And the only way we're going to do that is to hit him left and right as much as we can. So there we go. He is moving into this northern territory, and that's not a good situation for us at all. That cannon is still there. I'm going to leave it there. And it does look like this army is slowly regaining some of its composure, which is good to see. We've also got these guys here, and I'm going to try to get them to join this army. On the way, they're probably going to encounter some enemies, so I'll let them go ahead and do an all-out attack, try to take that city back, put it under our control, of course. And look at that, 700-something men. Somerset, are you unlocked yet, you bastard? You suck, Somerset. Henry Somerset is permanently fixed in the region, but will be unfixed if attacked. Shit, man. I hope that changes eventually. We could really use Henry Somerset's army to help us push through here. So it looks like we've freed the region for the most part. We've got this army over here led by Grant. He seems to be pretty new. What about these guys? Can they join? No, I don't think they can. And besides, that's actually a pretty nice number. So I'm going to take Grant, and we're going to have to send him up here where most of the problems are happening, up in the north. It's going to take him quite a while. Sorry, guys. It's my good old alarm letting me know that I'm crazy. So we're going to attack, and I'm going to try to make that an all-out offensive. 42 days. We can't use the rails. We can do a forced march, but I don't think we need to do that. So I'm going to keep that away from a forced march. And Campbell is still moving forward to try to intercept this army. I think once he does that, I want him also moving north to maybe intercept a second Indian army, or Mughal army. Sorry, I'll stop using Indian because it's actually really not quite accurate. But look at this. This army, which just got pulverized, quite frankly, could really help a bunch of other armies. Now, I'm going to send them back just so that they can sort of start regrouping and rearming their men. There we go. We've got some men that we can probably make an army with here in Calcutta. But we're still waiting for more units. I might send this unit down to join them. It's going to take 16 days, but on the way we might be able to liberate some areas. And when I say liberate, I'm saying it in the worst sense of the word, because liberation here really basically means kill the natives, kill the native people of this land and take it for our own. We're trying to bring them civilization and progress. There's nothing wrong with that. Don't think so. So there we go. Okay, 10% penalty. We don't want to mess with this guy anymore, but we definitely want to go ahead and move out and start heading to Reva. So I'm going to put him on an offensive posture. Looks like he can't do the offensive posture. Fair enough. I don't like these guys here, but I think that our men will probably deal with them. And, okay, Patan. So this is obviously under our control, under Great Britain's control. But I really want Somerset to get unlocked. I mean, we can't lead an army that big without him. And the fact that he's got no penalties for that many men, he would be invaluable to the cause. Like, really, really useful to our cause. So hopefully, as time goes on, he will be unlocked. Right now, of course, we're stuck with a very powerful general doing absolutely nothing. Let's put it simply. So here we go. I'm still going to keep those cannons on attack, but over here I fear there's not much we can do. This army is pretty much finished, and the Mughals have definitely taken control of the north. You can see that right there on the map. But we have most of the control of the region, the area, the country, I should say. We definitely, however, need to stop that insurrection in the north. So let's go ahead, end the turn, and see what happens. British victory at Kandla. Wonderful. 820 men lost. The enemy lost nearly 2,000, and most of them just fled the actual battle itself. Now that's where we got this army stuck. George Anson, he's doing his best, killing 4,000 of the enemy, but they're still doing great. However, look at that. Their army's dropped significantly. Remember, it was at 86,000 2 episodes ago? Now it's at 60,000. So I think the trick with Bashir Khan, or Bakht Khan, is just to keep hitting him, keep smashing him. Although, unfortunately, George Anson is probably going to fall in battle. I don't see how he can be saved. And over here, yeah, got beaten there at the Battle of Gaya. British defeat. That's what happens when you bring only cannons. Unfortunately, now I've learned my lesson. We did kill a bunch of Mirza Mughal's men. Mirza Mughal is the other commander of the Mughals that has a lot of men. But once again, we're working that number down, and that's the only way we're going to be able to defeat them. But they're definitely taking control of this northern region. And I think the best thing we can do is try to disrupt their communications, maybe even burn down some regions, burn down some areas, destroy some rail lines, because I don't want to make movement easy for these guys in the slightest. So these guys are already on the way to attack. Let's see. Alright, you definitely need to rest and recuperate. And I don't believe you're going to do it here. So let's see if you can get there in 24 days. Not bad. This guy right here is also probably in need of rest and recuperation. So we're going to build a depot. Although I'd love to attack Palma, this area. We're just not going to be able to do it. And I don't know what's going on here with the 1st Bombay Division. They might just need some reinforcements, but you can't really tell. Maybe we can join them up with these guys. Look at that. So that's... No. Oh, I see. I understand. All right, fair enough. So I'm very concerned about the army of Balaspur. We want to definitely keep our eyes on that. So there's a 5% penalty. I wonder if we join these guys. Maybe that's a better idea. It might not be, but I'm going to try that out. There's obviously a depot here. And for now, we're not going to mess with any more of our men. You know, maybe could send them to the north. But as you can see here, this brigade is almost arriving on scene. They actually moved quite fast, which is cool. We've also got these guys. There's a 5% penalty, which is not good. But I'm going to join these guys up. 219, still a 5% penalty. This general might be able to help us out a little bit. It definitely looks like Chittorog is in control of Mughalistan. So I'm going to move to Chittorog. Apparently this area is not easy to move through at all. And this army can also probably attack there and eventually join up with that commander. So I'm moving him forward as well. In an assault phase to try and wipe out any Mughal influences here. Let's see if we've got anyone else we can use. Somerset, you bastard. Why can't you unlock? You're just the worst. Alright, these guys aren't going to do much. And over here, I think the guys have the situation under control. At least it seemed that way last turn. But this is not good. So we're sending some cavalry out there to take control of that region again. And really, our plan is going to be to try to cut them off over here, somewhere in Kanpur and Agra. Basically cut their supply lines. They're already cut off here from Gokapur. So I'm thinking that it's probably in our best interest to attack them as soon as Campbell here is able to reinforce his men. I think that's going to be very, very important. Can't mess with the government panel right now, but maybe we could get some reinforcements. No. Well, thank you, War Ministry, for being totally useless. Appreciate that. You've done nothing for us. It's just really the truth, isn't it? In it. The worst. Okay, F10, scores and objectives. Here, guys, we can see our losses. We've lost 76,410. The enemy, 73,000. Right now, we're losing more men than the enemy, and that's not good. Although, keep in mind, it's not just the British Army. We have a lot of mercenaries, Indian mercenaries in this case, and we also have a lot of men from the British East India Company, which I'm assuming quite a bit of them might be Dutch, Portuguese, all sorts of different nationalities, and that's definitely something to keep in mind. So there we go. We're going to attack with these guys, but we do have to be careful. We do have to build depots everywhere we go because this is a land that is not easy to survive in. All right, let's end the turn. Hope for the best. And that Mirza Mughal is still going to be rampaging through the north. A British victory at Darjeeling. Oh, and we actually lost no men at all. 820 enemies killed. Of course, we didn't totally rout that army, but it's a start. And yeah, I knew that was going to happen. We got Sahib, 23,000. Just nothing there to defend, really. And they're definitely taking control here in the north. Very strong control. So there we go. Interesting. All right. Okay, our state funding. Only £3, really. £3 to defend an entire colony. I'm sure that's actually more like, you know, 3 million pounds or 300,000 pounds, something like that. Well, this is quite in the past, so maybe it's just 30,000 pounds, but it's definitely not £3. Anyway, guys, I hope you're enjoying this series. I am loving doing it. I know the AGI videos don't get as many views as my other videos, but this is really one I really want to keep going. I hope you enjoy. If you do, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and I will keep that note. This is a 15% penalty, and I'm also going to join that army there. Still a 15% penalty. I think that army is going to be very useful for our attack into this area, but as you can see, the enemy definitely still outnumbers us, and I think for this to work, we're going to have to work in tandem with several generals. Let's see if this fool Somerset is unlocked. You idiot. Well, if somebody knows how to unlock him, let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Have an awesome, awesome day.